Hi, my name is Sean and I'm not a professional cyclist. Don't just stand there. Don't bow, you moron.
Who's talking?
Just get out of the shot so we can continue the film.
Are you gonna kill me?
This is me biking along the Lakeshore Path from my home in Mississauga to Toronto's downtown in Canada. I've completed the 50-kilometer round trip countless times. As I ride, I often reflect on my childhood love for making movies, whether it was for a project at school or just a way to kill time and have a laugh. Spending the day goofing around with my buddies, experimenting with different shots, different lines.
And that is why I'll never wear a Shrek costume to baptism ever again.
Reliving those beautiful moments while editing, and enjoying the final product was simply addicting to me. It's been years since I've made a movie, and I've been dying to reignite that flame of curiosity and creativity that seemed to diminish when I went to university and began pursuing a career. I was going on a graduation trip to Europe, and it seemed like the perfect opportunity to get back to this art form I find so meaningful. Let's freeze this here and go to Google to steal some of Barcelona's beautiful coastline. We could replace the Toronto Lakeshore with that, like this. Nice. Now if we look up Nice, which is the following destination, steal the skyline, we'll replace the CN Tower back here with that. Perfect. Lastly, it's a beach, so let's line things up in the pic with a couple girls having fun. Oh! At beach. Alright, looking great. I just need to get from here to here. It's an extrapolated version of what I do in Toronto. Instead of Lake Ontario, it's the Mediterranean. Oh yeah, and about 500 kilometers further with 3 kilometers of climbing. This is my bike journey from Barcelona to Nice, and I hope you enjoy.
I got out of bed today, swear to God couldn't see my face. I got out of bed today, staring at a ghost who forgot to float away. Didn't have all that much to say, wouldn't even tell me his own name, and where'd my body go?
It's 7 a.m. This guy is snoring like crazy. It's time to get my day started.
Let's see what
My body go, and
Alright.
where'd my
Okay.
body go?
Peace.
Oh, have you seen my ghost? See my ghost, see my ghost. Oh, have you seen my ghost? Staring at the ground. Oh, have you seen my ghost? See my ghost, see my ghost. Have you seen my
Agua, por favor.
Es que tengo 1.90 el agua.
Dos vasos de agua.
Es que no te puedo más, lo siento.
For day one, I would be traveling up through Catalonia to Spain's northeastern city of Girona. As I left the busy streets of Barcelona, I couldn't help but feel optimistic about the ride to come. Unfortunately, it didn't take long before I snapped back to reality by my first speed bumps.
I probably should have ditched this bike path because now I'm on gravel and I'm at a major risk for a flat tire. Bike stores don't open till like 10 a.m. in Spain, so I haven't had a chance to buy a backup tire, inner tube.
I quickly decided to ditch this unpleasant path Google Maps had put me on, and I think it's safe to say it wouldn't be the last time I'd be making such a detour. Nevertheless, I was on a smooth bike path soon enough, and it took me all the way to a beautiful cafe where I got a well-needed refreshment.
¿Qué?
Muy bien. Gracias.
This beautiful town is Montornes del Valles. On top of the iced coffee, I was able to find a bike store where I could stock up on a few needed supplies.
Muchas gracias, amigo. Bye.
Bye.
The journey continues.
They didn't have the correct inner tube size for my bike tire. Instead, I got a mini bike pump, which should sustain me until I get to the next bike store.
Okay, I've got my hat on now. I've already reapplied sunscreen like 3 times, but this sun is no joke. So just to protect my face, I think this is the best option. Plus it doubles as like a makeshift helmet. Obviously not a great one, but because I forgot to get one at the last bike stop, I think it's better to have something than nothing. Something to cushion the blow should I have a horrible crash. Knock on wood, that doesn't happen.
Despite the sun, the miles kept ticking along, and I was feeling really confident in my ability to go the distance this trip.
This hill I'm on is just a monster.
I got soul, but I'm not a soldier. 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 I got soul, but I'm not a soldier.
The grind never stops. We're climbing this huge hill to get up to the castle. I thought I'd be taking a siesta now, but we're running out of daylight. As I'm hurrying to try to get to the wall. Okay, it looks like it's open. Amazing. Okay, I finally made it. Jeez. Just, wow. I'm gonna hike down here a bit, try to get a pic of me for my mom, and then we'll go on to the next spots.
As the sun disappeared under the horizon, I knew I would have to start thinking about where I'd set up camp for the night.
Okay guys, I've got the terrible task now of finding somewhere to sleep in the dark. And I'm a pretty tough guy, but this is scary, I'm not gonna lie. So, you know, fingers crossed I make it through the night. I'll try to take a pic or a short video in a bit once I find a spot. I mean, I'm scared for two reasons. One, it's dark and there's kind of weird, strange men walking around in these dark areas. Hopefully I'm not one of those weird, strange men. And secondly is I'm kind of afraid of like getting a ticket. I don't even know how legal this is. So yeah, wish me luck. You can't even see me. Bye. It's my final correspondence. You can't see me, but I found a spot hidden under a bush right next to an apartment building. Hopefully I can sleep and wake up before anyone else notices. Good night. Alright, check out this cool spot I found. Bushes also had like cacti, so every once in a while at night I just get a thorn in my butt. Hopefully tonight I could find somewhere a bit more comfy. Okay, let's get the bike ride started. Goodbye, beautiful My knees and ass are definitely sore from yesterday, so I don't know what I think. I think we'll just see how it goes.
For day 2, I got up bright and early with the goal of completing the bulk of my ride before it got too hot. It was a big, 117-kilometer ride with nearly 1 kilometer of elevation, and the temperature was projected to have a high of 36 degrees Celsius that day.
Really nice downhill here.
The first stop of the day was the Catalonian city of Figueres, the birthplace of Salvador Dali. It seemed like the entire city was inspired by his work, with surreal sculptures and thought-provoking murals littering the streets. The day's temperature was steadily rising, so after a snack and reapplication of some sunscreen in front of the Dali Museum, I was back on the road.
I think I'm going over the mountains now. Oh, see Francia in 1 kilometer. Try to climb up to the border. I'm just about there. I'm praying it's a descent afterwards. Okay, I think I got to the top of that hill. Holy smokes. I don't even know if I'm in France yet or not. I'm so confused. Yeah, baby. Oh, man.
I was given a warm welcome to France by the beautiful flowers of Le Belou, and also met a nice cat who helped me practice my South Park level Spanish.
Hola, señor gato. Do I go right or left? Oh, he's gonna lead the way. Ah, aquí. Gracias.
Mi familia, ¿dónde estás?
Bien, gracias. ¿Y tú?
A big change I noticed when entering France was that the number of cyclists on the road exponentially increased. This guy was going pretty fast, so I thought I'd have a friendly race with him.
I can't go as fast as him on the downhills because I've ran out of gears. It's a good race. Home stretch, 15K, 15K, let's get this. Good dodge. I'm gonna catch this bastard. Him in his proper gear, not destroying his lower back. How dare he? I'm gonna beat him with pure natural talent.
It worked out for my brother to take a train stop in Perpignan for the evening before continuing on to Nice. So we met up and took to the streets to see what this town had to offer.
You just know that guy was always angry. Jesus Christ.
It was soon realized why he was always angry. It was because there was nothing to do in Perpignan. It wasn't long before we sought out a grocery store and turned to alcohol to cope with our mistake.
Travel hack. If you like a drink but you want it cold and you don't want to go to like a restaurant for it, put it in the freezer and then go shopping and get it after.
Shit, it's still warm.
Oh shit, he dropped the yogurt. Look at that, look at that.
After a bit of tomfoolery, we gathered enough liquid courage to embrace our inner late-night talk show host and took to the street to ask the villagers of Perpignan if there was anything fun to do.
Excuse me. Sorry, I'm making a video. Bonjour. For un video. Bonjour. Pour un video.
Que faire à Perpignan?
Que faire à Perpignan? Que faire à Perpignan?
Ah, que faire à Perpignan?
Fucking question, man.
Yeah. You can step away from the street. Are you leaving? You're trying to escape.
No,
We
I'm
can't
trying
find anything to
escape.
do.
I'm living in Montpellier. You have so much to do in Montpellier,
Okay.
but here not here, but Collioure.
Cool you?
Yeah, you have a car
Okay.
and you go to Collioure and it's very beautiful.
Okay.
Much than here.
So what I'm hearing is what to do in Perpignan is leave Perpignan.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing?
Yeah. It's funny, but nothing. There's nothing to do.
Oh my god.
It's not good.
Great answer.
No, it's not.
Okay, thank you so much. Bye bye. Au revoir.
While it didn't have much going for it in terms of activities, what it did have going for it were its people, who were absolutely lovely, because as the saying goes, if you don't have courtesy in Perpignan, you have nothing. Okay, I found a good spot to sleep, right next to the main river here. Good night. That was me winning my 800-meter regional championship race in grade 10. What the video doesn't show is me laying face down in the field afterwards for 10 minutes because I'd severely pulled both hamstrings. I never had the body of an Olympian. My secret to success was my ability to go beyond my pain threshold and mentally outlast my opponents. I went on to be the 10th fastest runner in Ontario that year, and that mindset I developed in my youth would help me get through today.
Good morning, guys. I'm all packed up because it's kind of like a pretty busy area that I'm in. I just want to show you it really quick. So here it is. So there's this bush. I hid it under here. This is literally like the main area. So this is here's the beautiful houses along the river. The issue is I dropped down about 10 feet, so I have no way to get back up. So right now I'm gonna just keep traveling along here until I find a way out. There we are. Perpignan has allowed me to escape. Just on my long walk back to my bike. It is 6:20 a.m. right now, so I did pretty good on time. Once I get my bike from the hotel, it should be off by 6:35. Still need to stretch, get some water, brush my teeth. Oh, and here's my stuff, my biking kit. Just dangling from my hand. I give it a shake because I kind of wake up damp every morning. All my clothes are a little wet, and I really want to put some dry clothes on. There she is. Thank you very much.
You know when your dad comes home from a long day of work and screams at you because he found a single Cheerio on the floor of the kitchen and you didn't even have Cheerios? You don't even like Cheerios! What I'm trying to say is that it was a long ride yesterday. Perhaps I was a little too critical of Birmingham. In the calm of the morning, I really began to appreciate the quiet beauty of it.
Didn't get a very good sleep, so I'm feeling really bad, and I'm really trying to find like a McDonald's or something, but there's just nothing around Birmingham. Made it to the ocean. I was feeling extremely de-energized this morning after the terrible sleep and aches and pains. But I don't know, since seeing the beach here and smelling the salty air, like it's totally given me new life here. So I'm hoping to ride this high. Just lugged my bike up this. This is so freaking steep, like I'm gonna slip. Almost slipped this off. Alright, but we continue. Going that way over the bridge.
Remember how that bike shop didn't have the correct inner tube size on day one? Well, that was going to come back to haunt me in the worst way possible today.
Well, I just pulled that guy out of there. So I've got my first flat, unfortunately. Let's try to replace it without any tools.
I was 10 kilometers away from the nearest bike store, and my tire refused to hold air. This is a group of fellow travelers I met in Sevilla the week prior. And this is Chloe. Her shoes were giving her blisters, so she grabbed a pack of bandages from a convenience store. Not having room in her own bag, she stashed and forgot them in my backpack. As I desperately ravaged through my bag for a solution, I found these bandages. If you're watching this, Chloe, thank you for saving my trip.
Alright, we are bandaged up. Hopefully that could last for a while.
Okay, tire on.
I made it to a bike shop and bought 2 inner tubes. Miraculously, the tire was still fully pressurized, so I did not feel the need to replace it just yet.
Okay, this path is kind of sucked on the trail end of it. It's just all off-roading. It's just been like this forever. Oh my god. We're gonna need a double tire change after this straight. I'm praying I see paved roads soon, but as far as I can see right now, it's just gravel like this. Okay, finally, after maybe like 4 kilometers of that gravel, we've got this nice dirt. It feels like the smoothest road ever to me right now, and particularly to my ass, which is killing. If you guys are going on this bike trip, I kind of suggest skipping this part. Just stick to service roads or whatever. Bike on the highway for all I care. This sucks. One thing I'm most scared about is if I break a chain, I guess I'm just gonna die. I don't really have an option there. I'm about to start watching a couple episodes I have downloaded of Always Sunny in Philadelphia just to distract myself from the suffering. Look at this bad boy.
Look at that. Band-Aid's still holding so strong. Amazing.
After all that gravel. Okay, I don't know what Google Maps is smoking, But it thinks this is a road. Do you guys see a road there? Yeah, so I can't really go that way. There's this huge bay here that I have to bike around because of that error from Google Maps. I was like 35 kilometers away, now I'm like 55 kilometers away. I swear I've been at 55 kilometers for like 3 hours. So I'm feeling a little deterred right now, but I don't have many options, so I'm not gonna give up.
The unplanned detour brought me to the footsteps of a spectacular tower, which overlooks the town of Gruson.
I think I just accidentally ordered an espresso martini when I'm super dehydrated. So now I'm gonna be wasted. I'm already feeling tingly after one sip. Just say hi. Yeah.
Ok. Bonjour. Bonjour.
Bonjour, Mary.
Au Canada.
Okay.
À tout à l'heure.
On the way down, I ran into this nice guy who pointed out the pink salt lake and salt flats that Gruson is famous for. He goes on a bike trip every year with friends in different parts of Europe.
Salon du Midi, which is the biggest one from the area.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Have a great rest of your day. Bye. That last stop in Gruson was such a pleasure. It's such a contrast to the huge metropolitan tourist hotspots. I was able to just leave my bike, leaned up against the wall outside a cafe, and I trusted the cafe with my bag while I went and climbed up that tower. They're always smiling and they're patient despite the fact that they may know little or no English. It's just really nice people that are so happy that you've come and visited their town, and I love it. Buddy, my ass looks like this ham right now. I think it's directly bone on seat at this point. Google Maps says we are just under 10 kilometers away. Oh God, that's a huge climb coming up. Hopefully that's just the last major climb, but I may be eating my words, I don't know. It was a good hill, big hill. Big and good. Can't think. Ape brain. Why say big word when few word do trick?
So me think, why waste time? Say lot word when few word do trick.
After the 2 steps forward, 1 step back type of day, I arrived in Béziers. The old city, which is rich in beauty and history, has an iconic cathedral that sits atop a hill, the perfect first stop for a tourist like me. After taking some time to explore this fairy tale town, I realized it was getting pretty late and I'd yet to find somewhere to eat and charge my electronics. By the time I set up camp for the night, my GoPro was dead and my phone was at 20% battery. On top of that, I'd gone 3 days without a shower at this point and dreaded the sticky and hot night to come. Hey guys, I'm gonna have a pretty bad sleep tonight, just propped up against a bush on the hill next to the cathedral. I was first trying to go down by the river where it's like the only grassy area, but the mosquitoes were literally tearing through my tent. It was so bad there. I may leave at like 4 a.m. if it's so terrible. Good night, and I'll see you all in the morning. I only had 12% battery remaining on my phone at the onset of my ride today. To make things a little easier, I chose to take the car route with highways turned off on Google Maps. This meant the ride consisted of service roads the entire way and wasn't very scenic. Therefore, I don't have much to show until I was able to charge my stuff in Montpellier. Montpellier was the most exciting city I visited yet in this journey. With towering monuments, inspiring architecture, and countless stores, it was no wonder the streets were packed with enthusiastic pedestrians.
Okay guys, I wanted something with a lot of protein because my legs are aching. And he recommended this signature. It's got beef, it's got bacon. It just looks so damn good. I'm hyped.
I had a bit of time to kill before my train leaves to Marseille, so my next order of business was to find a spot with a view to Chillax. Okay, managed to sneak into this hotel twice to get to the rooftop. First time I forgot to record, so I've done it again. They probably have to work on their security.
I'm gonna take a little siesta here. Try to make up for some of the sleep I missed last night. Okay, now I'm headed to the bus station in Montpellier. It's a really nice day, like overcast, so I'm not melting, you know. And it's just a beautiful city to be in. That last hotel, they were so chill. I feel like by the end they kind of knew I didn't belong there, but they didn't say anything. There we go, I found it. This is what I need. Canned tuna, man. I always forget it exists, but I need some damn protein. Change gears. Diagonal sir. Change gear. Good church. Surely no one's gonna steal something here. So from what I've seen of Marseille so far, I might be eating my words. Okay, let's see how Marseille does my favorite dish, spaghetti alla carbonara.
Pretty mediocre if I'm being honest. But Italy is the next stop on my trip after Nice, so there's still plenty of great pasta to be had. The thought of sleeping in a tent again was extremely demotivating. Additionally, Marseille didn't exactly feel like the safest place to set up camp. I decided to go from hostel to hostel and ask if any rooms were available. After about 5 attempts, I came upon a spot that had an empty bed due to an early checkout. All it took was a €20 bribe and I got a shelter, shower, and clean bed for the night.
It's 12:15. My bus leaves Toulon at 3:45. Google Maps says the bike will take me like 4 hours and 15 minutes. So right now I'm not gonna make it. We'll see how good the quality of video is today. But I'm gonna be grinding here. I'm gonna be going fast. I don't particularly like the look of those mountains coming up. I just did the math and I've got 60 kilometers to do in 3.5 hours. So I'm gonna check in an hour. Hopefully I've done you know, about 17.5 kilometers, which means I'm on pace to make the train. My lower back is killing me right now. Guys, it is 1 p.m. and I've gone about exactly 20 kilometers. So it looks like I'm on pace and I should make it, but I can't slow down. I just passed the first Toulon sign I've seen, so just gives me some tangible progress there, which is nice. Uphill against the wind right now, it's killing me. Really taking a hit to my pace.
Biking through these mountain passes and seeing the time drain away was very challenging. Sometimes the hills got so steep that I would be moving at a walking pace, and it took every ounce of willpower to not just stop and stick my thumb in the air.
An amusement park here. Got kids screaming and riding horses and stuff. Pretty nice. Big hill. Such a beautiful spot to bike. Oh my god. Okay. It's starting to rain on me. I've only got about 13 kilometers to go. But Google Maps is still saying there's like over 100 meters of uphill. So I don't know. I'm cutting it a little close. I may get to the train just in time. It's raining a little harder now. Going down this boulevard, I got 5.5 miles. It says I'm arriving at 45 right now, but my train leaves at 43. So I am booking it. I need to make this train, man. Making my way through the busy streets of Toulon. I've only got 1.5k to the train station, but I've got 20 minutes to get there, so it looks like I'm out of the woods, guys. Light at the end of the tunnel at last. Okay, I made it with like 6 minutes to go. And I got myself some food.
I know I looked calm there, but that was pretty clutch, even for my own standards. I mean, I cut 45 minutes off the projected time and made it with just 6 minutes to spare. The hard work was over, and all that's left to do is enjoy the final ride along the coast from Cannes to Nice.
They say it's a matter of time, 1,000 days and the sun won't shine before I come back to you. When I'm happy, nothing's going to stop me. I'm making my way home, I'm making my way. For your love I will go far, I wanna be wherever you are. I know I'm coming back for you. Our love is a river long, the best ride in a million.
We teamed up now. We're riding together.
Back to you. And I'm happy, nothing's going to stop me.
Sorry, it's a little windy, but I got 1.5k to go. I'm just enjoying the last bits of this trip here. Thanks for the ride, guys.
I'm making my way home, I'm making my way.
Here, these lovely girls just took a pic of me at my destination, so thank you.
Going on this ride was one of the greatest decisions I've made. I was able to disassociate from habitual day-to-day anxieties and become a bit more extrovert towards the things and people that surrounded me. By being on a bike, I had time to really see and appreciate how other people lived. There's so much meaning to be had in completing a difficult physical feat like this, and I can't wait to see what my next journey will be.
I'm making my way home. I'm making my way.